All right, we need to talk about what happened at Throwdown the Mountain because, oh boy, it was a lot. All right, so Throwdown the Mountain happened this weekend. It's an A tier. There really wasn't that many people that actually went. You had Paul competing. He won by, I think, 4 strokes. Did pretty well. But the people he was playing against were pretty low rated, so it wasn't necessarily a great win for him or anything. But the real thing here was the FPO division. And that is because it is an A tier, which means that any player is allowed to play in it, whether they be trans or not. The person that wins this event is allowed to play in the Throw Pink Women's Championship because that is also an A tier, even though it's a major for the MPO side. So for years and years, there's been this kind of disconnect between the PDGA and the players because everyone views this event as a major. And as we know, winning USDGC is a huge, huge thing. So just because the PDGA doesn't call it a major, doesn't mean that it's not really a major. So the important thing to note here is that Natalie Ryan was playing in the Throwdown the Mountain Championship. She actually won in playoff holes against Morgan and Jordan Linz, which qualified her for the Throw Pink Women's Championship, which has irony written all over it. So she actually had a lawsuit against the PDGA. She is not allowed to play in any events, Elite Series, Silver Series, or Majors. But because PGA has not made any changes to Throw Pink and moved it from an A tier to something above, this means that Natalie was able to qualify, even though she cannot really play any other events for the rest of the season on the Pro Tour. And we are still waiting the results of the lawsuit that Natalie Ryan has against the PDGA. And to go along with this, there's obviously a lot of hate and vitriol that are thrown towards Natalie Ryan in particular. And that was definitely no exception this week. You had the people that were in the playoff holes and their mom saying some pretty awful things about Natalie, being very detrimental to really respect for anybody, let alone Natalie Ryan, but really just disrespectful to humanity. And I think there's definitely a discussion to be had about what's allowed and not allowed on tour, whether trans people should be allowed to play an FPO or whether they should just be playing MPO. But that discussion was not really had with the Lynn sisters and their parents because immediately check social media what happened. There was a lot of hate and vitriol thrown towards Natalie. And if you think about it, Natalie has not done anything wrong. She is playing in the rules and guidelines of the PDGA. She has not had any infractions. She won fair and square. And if you have any real disagreements about the win, then you probably need to take that with the PDGA, not with this individual player who is just trying to enjoy the sport of disc golf. And I don't think it's really worthwhile to repeat what they said, but I definitely think that the way that people communicate about trans athletes is still very derogatory and shows an extreme lack of empathy and respect for the player. So I'd really hope that this changes in the future. Obviously, there's a lot of things that will start to evolve as time goes on, and I really would hope that we get to a place where people can be respectful and also come to a more concrete ruling about what it's going to look like for the following years to come as a transgender athlete. So I know you guys have a lot of hot takes. If you leave any comments, just be respectful. People are people. But with that, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Wildrun signing out. Peace.